Alright, hi guys, Echo here. This video is going to be a little bit different from my usual videos. So a student signed up for coaching, but they asked if I could just do a YouTube clip instead of the normal replay analysis and stuff. So rather than being on Skype and one-on-one with the person, I'm just going to be watching their replays and, objectively critiquing like I usually do. Yeah, so let's jump into it. Should be pretty cool. Right away at the start of the game, I saw that you built a Fusel Blade before Manta. You're going with the Badman build, which is phase, drum, urn, that sort of thing, into Manta. A lot of people do this for whatever reason. It's usually a pretty poor option, as Manta is like the core of the build. The movement speed is incredible, and the extra illusions, or the illusions rather, are also very important. Simply because you get more Desolate damage. Yes, Diffusal gives you a lot of damage when you have Manta, but it doesn't really give you all that much if you don't have Manta. The real strength of the build lies in the illusions. Diffusal is not horrible by any means, but it's inferior to Manta. First, anyway. Okay, so we're playing against. Let's see. Also, the player I'm coaching is Apop in this game on Spectre. Should make that clear. Okay, so right away, yeah, already a good argument for Manta. You can Manta off the Lone Druid and Tangle, and you can also dodge Vengeful Spirit Stun, so it's quite good. You can also kind of dodge Bottom Arrows if you're insane. I believe you can also dodge Starfall, but that's kind of hard. Starstorm, rather. Excuse me. Alright, so right away, starting items are bad. You need way more regen than this. I'd imagine you get punished for this pretty hard. If it's Bottom plus Venge offlane, or even just Lone Druid, you can have serious issues. Basically, like any kind of range harass you get, or any kind of harass that you take in this lane, will stick as soon as you lose all your tangos, which will be very quick, assuming it's 2 ranged heroes. They could even like aggro try. They could do some really stupid, ineffective Bottom Lone Druid Venge aggro try, and it would be very bad for you guys, I think. Sark would be punished in the safe lane for sure, but you guys don't have the best heroes to deal with this. Okay. Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is always start with at least 2 sets of regen on Spectre. So you can either go 2 tangos or tango self, or you can even go 2 tangos and a self. That's also totally fine. But this is not enough at all. Okay. So generally when you play carry, the best thing to do is immediately run, like you're doing right now, except also run all the way here. You don't want to stand like right here. It's better to stay around, this spot. Basically, this is just so you can see the offlaner doing this kind of thing and running to place a ward. It looks like only Venge has a ward, so you won't have to do that. But this scouting is very important, and it's something that you as a carry are supposed to do, so you should do that. This Lone Druid has Rabbit skilled to level 1. Interesting. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Also, just to make this clear, this is the first time I'm viewing this replay. It's just like a normal coaching session. So let's do that. Okay. So in this situation, you should just go to block. Also, it's pretty risky to go for the rune, but you have an option as Spectre to dagger over the wall, like right here. So you start here, then dagger over, and try to take the rune. In this case, it would be a bad idea because they have so many stuns with arrow and magic missile. So you gotta be a little careful. Svenge has an Uv. Interesting. Yeah, so you should do that. Also, in this case, since you can't go for the rune, you should immediately go for a early block, so you can start blocking like around here. Basically, like what this does is it pulls the creep wave back. So even if you're playing against ranged heroes, they basically have to run all the way back. Or they have to, sorry, that was stupid. They have to move farther forward in order to harass you, and you're also closer to your tower, so you're slightly safer. So that is good. So you do elect to block here, but it's a little bit too late. You had way too much time to do this. Okay. So it looks like the creep wave is still going to be an okay spot, but it could be much farther back in this case, which would be beneficial for sure. So you have a Lich. He doesn't have Sacrifice, which is weird. You guys can actually do okay in this lane, but there's a specific playstyle that has to happen. Basically, Lich needs to sacrifice a lot, and you guys just play defensively and try to wait for a support to overextend. I don't know why this guy doesn't have Bear Skilled, but whatever, we're going to ignore that for a little bit. Okay, so let's watch your entrance into the lane. Okay. CS is good. In this case, like, you should immediately start pulling the creeps back. So the way you do this is, or what I mean is you aggro the creeps and then pull them back. So right here, when this creep is getting low, you issue an attack command on Lone Druid or Vengeful Spirit, or any hero on the map for that matter. You can just move your camera, and then you right-click back to move, and the creeps will follow you back. And then they're closer to your tower and easier to last hit. You end up getting it anyway, but these guys should be punishing you much more. Basically, this can be used anytime you want to get a CS when you're playing against ranged heroes. You can often prevent some harass this way, especially against weaker players. Okay, this is a pretty big mistake. You don't want to do this just because, like, basically, if you ever have an opportunity later on in this lane, or you know, within the next couple, about 1 minute or so, you're not going to be able to do it without popping your mango. And you don't really want to do this early. You want to take advantage of the HP regen. So never go for a CS like this. It's okay later on when you have like a Kila drum or whatever you decide to go for, as long as you have some kind of mana regen. But you never just want to do this right away, because this limits your offensive potential. You no longer have the choice to go on Venge if she's out of position without using your mango. Yeah. Okay, so that's bad, but it's okay. I do want to see if you actually got it. Okay. Okay, yeah, so you didn't even end up getting it. I don't usually like result-based thinking, but yeah, it's not good. Okay, so the wave is pushing here, which is not ideal for you guys. You have a couple ways that you can deal with this. Basically, you can let it push and just pull the next wave, or you can try to pull this wave right now. Okay, yeah. See, here's a good example of you having to use your mango. Okay. Okay, so first things first is basically, like, in order for you guys to capitalize on this situation, you need to have mana for your dagger. You could mango here, and that would be the optimal play for sure. But like you wouldn't have needed to mango if you didn't use your dagger earlier. So that's a mistake. Second mistake is you skill up dispersion in this case. It would be good if you guys didn't go for a kill, or you weren't fighting right now, but in this case you need the extra damage from Desolate. Like, you're not the one being aggroed on, so, or aggressed on, whatever, I don't know, English is hard. So you don't need this damage reduction or reflection. Whereas, like, Desolate gives you 20 bonus damage, which is really nice for fighting. Okay, so let's look at the actual fight. Okay, so it starts right here. Like, the fight is basically here, but there are signs leading up to this where you can kind of tell that something is going to happen, or something could happen, more importantly. Okay, so Lich walks up right here. This is the first key. So the natural response for a support, if another support is running up to them, is to try to fight back, right? Like, if you're in Venge's position, are you just going to let Lich walk up and, you know, nuke you and hit you like this? No, of course not. You're just going to hit him back. No reasonable player would do this. So, like, Venge responds in the natural way, but you are spending all this time just CSing, which is okay, but it's not okay because it's not okay in this case because, like, there's a kill opportunity here. Basically, as soon as Venge commits like this and uses her stun on Lich, she's dead. So long as you have mana and go on her right here. If you just dagger right away right here, she has no way to stop you. Lone Druid could, like, fear you, technically. Actually, no, he can't even do that because he's not level 2. So yeah, in this case, like, Venge just kills herself. Well, theoretically anyway, if you go on her here. Like, dagger does more than enough damage, and you have more than enough chasing power to attack her and kill her. But in this case, you spent a lot of time just CSing here, which is pretty bad. You missed a kill opportunity here. Now, even if you had made the mistake of using your dagger earlier on the creep, you still have a mango to recover here, and it's totally worth it to use your mango in this case. Like, just getting a kill, it's worth the investment. If you take it literally, it's 125 gold for a kill, ignoring the effectiveness of the HP regen. So that's pretty big. Okay, so around here you could just choose to go, and she would die. They have no counterplay. So this is a pretty big mistake. Here also you should still keep going. Even though you made a mistake and you didn't go earlier, you should still continue to go. Because this guy's just going to die. Like, he's getting hit by creeps, you can keep slowing him. Even now you can just turn and dagger him and he'll die. Like, these creeps will actually just kill him. Like, dagger doesn't do much damage, but the extra slow and everything else in the creeps hitting him will kill him, for sure. So that's a pretty big mistake. Yeah. Yeah, so you had, like, multiple chances here. You even get another one right here. You could also dagger Lone Druid right here. And he would get slowed, you'd move faster, he would be getting hit by creeps. So yeah, you had a ton of options here to get a kill. And this is, like, game losing, the fact that you didn't go for this. So this is pretty bad. Okay. It's like, even right here, you could just switch to Dagger Venge, and she'd be tanking these creeps, you'll be hitting her. So that's a really big, really big mistake. Multiple big mistakes on your part there. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. you you have the right idea, but like you can't do this anymore. Like basically, if you dagger her, she dies, but only because you can hit her afterwards. Like you invest the dagger as like a form of CC, right? Like you use dagger, and yes, it does a little damage. It does 50 damage at level 1, but it's not going to kill her unless she's below 35 HP or whatever the math is. Not my strong suit, obviously. But in this case, like she has 90 HP. Even if magic resist wasn't a thing, your dagger is not going to kill her no matter what. It's impossible. It does 50 damage, and then you factor in magic resist. So like you would have to cast 2 daggers. Yeah, no, two daggers wouldn't even kill her. So yeah, this is very bad. You miss a lot of kills here, and you even limit your offensive potential again by using Mango. So this is extremely costly. Like these guys just got away with murder, literally. Like it's not good. This is something you can. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say you can never let happen, but it's something that like should not go unpunished for sure. Yeah, at this point, like I would say you deserve to lose this game, but you have like you're probably gonna get a lot more chances just based on the hero, and like nobody's perfect. These guys are gonna mess up, even though they just got a kill as well. Everyone else on the map is gonna mess up, so it's okay. But yeah, this is extremely costly, and you didn't get anything in response is the issue. Like you didn't get a ton of farm or a kill elsewhere or anything like that. So yeah, no excuse for that really. And again, I'm not trying to be mean, so I hope that you're not taking it this way. But yeah, okay. So that was a big deal. Basically, like Venge's gonna come back to lane, and Lone Druid is gonna have a level advantage on you, and it's gonna be bad news for you. Lich basically has to stand really far back and just frost armor you and not really die. You guys had offensive potential in this lane before, but you don't anymore, just because they have the level advantage, they have a damage advantage. Like Venge's going to come back with Aura, it's going to be really annoying for you. Lone Druid's level 3, I don't know what this build is, but it doesn't even matter what his build is right now. If he had Bear, you guys were completely boned, you had no chance. But even though he's doing this like really stupid range build, you're still going to get thrashed. Assuming they play well anyway. If they just play like play for harass rather than going for kills, they will completely crush you, and you can't do anything. I'm amazed this guy doesn't have Savage Roar. That is like unbelievably bad, but it's okay. We're not talking about that guy. Okay, so you go for boots, totally fine. You need to run fast against these heroes. It's very helpful against range heroes. That's all fine and dandy. Okay, you can't do this. Yeah, you can't do that. Okay. So part of the issue with this is the creep equilibrium is like very far forward when you had a chance to control it. One thing I recommend for you specifically, and every other carry player that's below like 5k, is to just make sure you have the creep equilibrium mastered. So if you're ever in a lane where their creeps are not affected by heroes, so it's just you last hitting, you want to be able to control it. So make the creep wave move to here, just outside of tower range, and then move it back, push it to just outside of the enemy tower range, or vice versa. Basically, this skill is important because in situations like this, where or in situations like about 40 seconds before this, where Venge was in base, you can get better at controlling the creep wave and bringing it back to a safer spot for you to farm. And also, the way you do this is by either pulling the side camps, or much easier, just denying your creeps whenever they get below 50% and attacking them a lot. Also, obviously you push by doing the opposite. You attack the enemy creeps. Yeah, I definitely recommend practicing that. It's pretty important. But okay, so that's the cause of this play, is the lane is too far forward, and you have to walk into these guys' zones to get a CS. And okay, so the actual problem with this is here, you telegraph your move, like you telegraph what you want to do. Okay, so let's watch this closely. Okay, so yeah, here, it's obvious that you're going for the CS, and these guys respond accordingly. They're a little bit slow, actually. Ven should have definitely be hitting you. I don't know what she's doing here. But yeah, you make it so obvious that you want to go for this creep, and that you give them a very easy decision, which is kind of bad. So yeah, you shouldn't go for the CS in the first place. You should just wait and see if they don't deny it, because like good players will they'll attack you right away. They'll punish you really hard, like these guys do. They don't even do it as efficiently as they could have. But yeah. So basically, you just wait for this creep to get to tower, and if they deny it, they deny it. You can't do anything about it. This is not yours at this point. Basically, like, if you walk, up to the creep wave like this without doing the aggro trick, you're just going to get stunned and take a lot of damage. So that's pretty bad. This is like a lane losing kind of thing, because this is all your regen pretty much. You recover nicely and use your tango right away, but English also helps you with a nice Frost Blast, but still, that was an extremely high amount of damage for nothing in their turn. Like, you didn't even get the CS, they're going to deny it here. So that's very big. Now they can very freely harass you under tower without threat of you turning. Yeah, that's very costly. Okay. So the Lone Druid has face. He can actually just like 1v2 you guys at this point, especially now that he has Roar. So that is a huge issue for you guys, but that's okay. Luckily, as Spectre, you can always recover just by using Haunt and killing people around the map, but yeah. Okay. So here you're harassing. The lane is in a good spot now. They pushed it and they didn't control the equilibrium well, so now you're able to farm this. But what you should be doing right here is, since the enemy team has a cannon creep, you want to be attacking the cannon creep as much as you can, or at least attacking the melee creeps. Basically, like, this is going to automatically push your tower, which isn't bad. But in this case, since you're denying your creeps, you're actually like, you're setting yourself up to have the lane push back. And what I mean by that is, like, yes, these creeps are going to go farther forward, but they're going to go into your tower, and that will reset the wave. Because, like, they'll die to the tower, then the next creep wave will roll in, and this creep wave will be healthy, and it will meet the next creep wave right here. So you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you don't deny too hard, like when it's in a good spot. Because right here, look, like, you start denying your creeps, and all the enemy creeps are still very healthy. They're not going to die. Like, this one will eventually, but yeah. Okay, so that's pretty costly. Not as big a deal as the other things, but yeah. Also, you're setting yourself up to be dived here, which is pretty bad. It looks like the ward scouted out bottom, so that's nice, but yeah. Okay, so you should be tangoing right now. Basically, anytime you're below, like, or you've lost about 150 HP, just use tango. You never want to be low like this, especially in a lane where they can actually just kill you straight up. If you're slightly low. Like, they can't just 100 to 0 you, but if you're a little bit low, then they can. I guess it'd be more like an 80 to 0 in that case, but, whatever. Fuck it. Okay. So yeah, this lane is pretty much over because you didn't get those kills at the beginning of the game when they went on Lich. Like, it should have been a trade, and then you guys wouldn't be able to, or the enemy team wouldn't be able to zone you like this. Yeah. So all of this is because you didn't go for the good kills early. So this is pretty costly. Okay, so here you should be using the aggro trick. So you issue an attack command on Lone Druid, bring the creep back. That's a really important skill. I highly recommend you practice that for any hero, really. It's quite big. Okay. Also, I know you're like kidding around here, but you don't want to do this because now Potom knows you have a ward. It's just information for her. Maybe she's not even thinking about that, but yeah. Definitely don't want to do that in chat. Okay. He gets you salted, it sucks. So at this point, I'm not sure Revenge is. Oh, she went back to base, okay. Okay. Yeah, so definitely keep using the aggro trick here. You're going to get harassed out, otherwise you won't get as many CS. So that is big. You kind of have to assume that Lone Druid is not alone here, which sucks, but that's the way it is. Okay. Okay, yeah, so Tiny comes down and gets a gank, that's good. You didn't really do much, but you don't have to. It'd be nice if you daggered right away, but it's okay. You don't really have to use your mana. Yeah, so this is another way to respond to people pushing up like this and harassing. And also, just to further prove my point, is this is only possible because this lane is pushed like to your tower. It's like very close to your tower. If this lane was in the position it was earlier, right here, Tiny can't just walk up, right? Like, he would have to go behind their tower. He'd have to like have the foresight to go all the way here, like around this way, all the way up here, go back, then go right here, and the lane is right here. So basically, like, this is all possible because your equilibrium was in a good place. Yeah, this is just an impossible play otherwise. So this is good on your part, whether or not it was intentional. So that's good. Okay, yeah, definitely don't want to use it after she already died, but it's a minor mistake. At least you have enough for Haunt when you get 6. But yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna speed up through the laning phase, or at least, you know, a little bit faster. Basically at this point, like, you lost lane already because you didn't go for kills at level 1. It's pretty big. Also, the creep equilibrium, the creep equilibrium was not good for most of the game. It was good, you know, for the last 2 minutes or so, but yeah, that's a big deal. Okay, let's look at this. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the laning phase. The rest of it just comes down to like how your team plays around this and how you recover. But you clearly don't know how to do the creep aggro trick, or you don't implement it in your play anyway, so that's the way you'd come back, or at least like stay afloat. But yeah, basically like when you are this slow and Venge has stun up, or any CC, like any CCs in your lane, you have to respect the fact that if you walk into her circle, like this, her stun range basically, you just die. That's the on paper play. Maybe she makes a mistake and doesn't stun you, but you're not good enough of a player to read that in like every case. Most players are not actually. Like, I would say around 5 to 6K is when you can start reading people and mind gaming them. But don't worry about that. Just worry about the basics for now. So basically, you just walk up too far. You could prevent this by doing the creep aggro trick because you wouldn't be up so far while last sitting, which would be nice. But yeah, so basically, as soon as you get stunned, you just die. Actually, before that, as soon as you walk into Venge's range, you're supposed to die no matter what. You have no counterplay at that point. So that's big. It's definitely a big kill. Okay. You want to be careful with pinging like this. Like, it's good to let your teammates know what's going on, but don't spam. Like, there's no point. It's not helpful. Like, just 2 to 3 pings is totally fine. I think you're right. Like, you should ping this, but spamming it is just annoying. It doesn't help anyone. Especially when it's coming from a carry who's like not doing so well. I don't know. That's like a personal thing. It's not very objective, but I would get pretty mad if someone was doing that. I hope you hunt on this guy and kill him. Yeah, this is really good hunts. What the fuck? Okay. Alright. So yeah, basically, like, as soon as you spawn, you should just haunt and kill these guys. Like, I think you might have thought Tiny was going to kill him or something, but he's pretty low. Either way, it's worth it to get the assist and the XP. This is your chance to come back. If you just hunt as soon as you spawn right here, this is an extremely easy decision. You could also theoretically wait for Lone Druid to use his Roar, but he does right here. He uses Roar, so this is your key to go in. You just haunt, go on Lone Druid, dagger these two. They both die. Easy kill. They have no way to get away at this point when they use Stun and Savage Roar. So it's extremely important that you go for this kill. This is your way to come back. This is why Spectre is a good hero. It's because she can come back and, you know, take kills like this. Oh my god, you TP'd in. Oh no. Okay. So you need to go for this kill earlier in order for it to happen, right? Because like Lone Druid, even if you haunt right now, before you TP, it's okay, you can still kill him. He has no Savage Roar. And he does have phase boots, yes, but you have phase boots as well, so you can chase him. So long as you get the dagger off. Like, the movement speed change will be enough for you to chase. And you also get a little bit of damage, which is nice, but yeah. So in order for this to happen, you need to go way earlier. Because if you go in right here, you have to haunt, or you have to dagger him under tower, and it becomes like a little risky, because then people can TP in, you know, he can juke you under trees, stuff like that. But if you just go on him right here, it's a free kill. There's no way he lives. As long as you, like, press your buttons. But instead you TP'd bottom and then haunted, which basically, like, you know, it's obviously inefficient. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Like, you're just using a TP to already use a global spell right afterward, so it doesn't make any sense. And also, you just haunt too late. So effectively, you just, like, you used mana to scout, I guess. That's what you got out of the haunt, which is not good. Okay, so you've already had a couple of decisions in this game that were just, like, completely game-losing. Again, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just, like, trying to be honest. Yeah. Okay. See if I Quelling Blade, it's fine. Okay, what the hell? Okay. I think you might have been like AFK here or something. But like when these guys are just running up like this, they have no objective other than like going to chase you. Like just look at this. What are they doing here? Like this guy's he could be going to buy something at the side shop, but Venge also like goes to surround. I guess he might have been alt tabbed or something, but yeah. First off, I don't recommend alt tabbing, and second off, if you're gonna alt tab, do it smart or do it intelligently. So like go into trees before you do it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So you just lost all of your HP, and you have to use all of your regen to get back into lane here, because you were like not reading these guys or alt tabbed. Either one is not good. So that is costly, but it's okay. Not the biggest deal. Okay. I'm not sure what you're doing. You should be tangoing here. Yeah, you should just be tangoing and regening. Okay, yeah, you tango now, that's fine. Also, if you're in a position like this, like, you might as well just be quelling blading, like getting a new path to get back into lane. So, since you're stuck here, you don't want to use mana to get out, otherwise you won't be able to haunt. So just like start eating trees with your quelling blade and your tangos, and you can just cut out to right here. Like, it won't take you too long. It's better than using your dagger. You also don't have a TP, so you have no options there, but yeah. They can't see you eat trees in Falc, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Okay, let's look at this. So see, Tiny goes on this guy. Good. Okay, he ult in. Okay. Oh, that was fine. I have no issues with that. Here you need to kind of get out though, like as soon as possible. Okay, you get XP there, that's fine. Okay. No, that was fine, sort of. It's fine until you died, obviously. Basically, like what you need to be doing here when you go for this kill is you need to acknowledge that there are other heroes on the map as well. You can see one of them top, but the other one you can also see behind you because you have the sword. But instead of running, you know, to the right where you would live, or you'd have a better chance of living, you just ran down, and he can very easily chase you. So going for the Lone Druid EXP is totally fine, but then at that point you need to back off. That's pretty much it. Not much else to say about that. Everything else is completely fine. Ideally you were higher HP and had more mana at the start of the fight, so you could dagger, but not the biggest deal. Okay, so just to put things in perspective, at this point, like, it's 12 minutes into the game, and you have 21 CS. The general benchmark for, like, a decent game, not even, like, free farm or anything, is 50 CS at 10 minutes. So you don't have half of that, which is a big issue. And you definitely could have if you went for that kill early. And also applied the creep aggro trick and applied some equilibrium stuff. Like, all of this adds up to you being a Spectre with phase boots and PMS at 12 minutes, which is extremely bad. You should have way more than this. You should have like Urn and Bracer or a completed Drum at this point, even against your difficult lane. Okay. So that is big. Okay. So yeah, pretty much like anytime Venge walks up to you at this point, you just need to back off, in most cases anyway. Now they have a lot of damage, so any kind of stun means that you take a lot of damage in response. So definitely you want to be doing that. Just stay farther back. Okay, so here, since Tiny is TPing in, you should be daggering. Lone Druid should have died there. Basically, like, you just need to be more aware of what's going on. If you daggered Lone Druid here instead of Venge, he would die, guaranteed. So, like, look at this HP, 150. Dagger does 200 at this point. Even with magic resist, he would still die. It'd be really close, but he would still die. So you miss out on a kill there. But not a big deal, I guess. That's a pretty big deal, to be honest. Like, you need everything you can get at this point. So that's a big deal. Definitely don't want that to happen. Okay. That is all fine. Whatever. It's a good gank by Tiny. Definitely, like, try to be more aware if possible, but yeah. Okay. Alright, so we're coming up on 30 minutes here, so I'm going to skip through and look at your item build. Okay, so 22 minutes, you have Urn and Drum. Totally fine. You do make the mistake of going for a Diffusal, which I talked about at the beginning. You never want to do this. Always go for Yasha into Manta. In 100% of your games, pretty much. It's just very high value. It gives you more damage than Diffusal does, even though it costs more. And you can also purge the Entangle by using Manta or dodge Venge Stun. It's just extremely high utility item. And it's really good for Spectre. And it's really good in games where you need to chase people down, like the Zeus, for example. Whereas Diffusal, like, it gives you some damage, yes, but it doesn't give you any HP, doesn't give you any movement speed. You're not actually that good at killing people. You can purge enemy heroes, which is really nice, and you can chase them that way, but why not just run faster yourself? Then you don't have to use a charge and stuff like that. But, okay. So I think that's pretty much it for this replay. So let's jump to the Lifestealer one. Okay. So, this game, you were a Lifestealer with Drow, okay, yep. It's actually a pretty good Lifestealer game, I'd say. Kind of sucks to play against Sniper, but it's not bad. The way you deal with this hero is you buy a blink, actually, which is pretty interesting. Like, you can rage if he shrapnels you, and then just blink on him and kill him. And it's really nice. Okay. But he's also very good against Sven and Tiny for obvious reasons. Like, these are heroes that rely on stuns to keep people in place. And they're also strength heroes. Lifestealer is very good against strength heroes because they have high strength, therefore they have high HP, and he does percentage damage. So that's good. Okay, so you went Abyssal, S and Y. Okay, I'm assuming it was like Midas into S and Y into AC, or Abyssal, AC, I don't know. But anyway, I generally recommend not going hard on Lifestealer. I guess theoretically it's okay if you get the regen while you're infested. That's pretty cool. But I still don't see the value in it. I think I'd prefer having like a Satanic or something like that. I just feel like it better suits Lifestealer style. I guess there are some interesting things you can do with the Infest and Heart combination. I haven't thought about that before, but still, before trying this, I can only recommend that you go for Satanic. Also, in this game, you definitely need a blink. You can blink on 3 of these heroes and just kill them, and they have no counterplay, except for like using invis items or force stabs or whatever. So yeah, you can go for something like S and Y into AC into blink, or S and Y into blink even, and that would be totally fine. The Midas is fine as well, but you gotta get it very quickly. I'm hoping it was not a jungle Lifestealer game. It didn't look like one, but we'll see. Okay. I opened the wrong replay. Oops. Alright. Let me get the ID. Classic Echo. Alright. Okay, yeah, this is the right one. Alright, so you are playing against Tiny. There's nothing really notable in this game. The only thing you need to watch out for in fights is to use Rage before you get CC'd, otherwise you can just die to all of these heroes burst. Also, you need to use Rage before you get Static Stormed. That's pretty important. It might even be worth investing in a BKB, but probably not too necessary. You guys have enough like threats to not warrant you needing a BKB. Usually, if you're the only threat, like it's a single core composition and you're a Lifestealer, you might need a BKB in some cases because like as soon as your Rage is out, you're just like you're gonna be the center of attention, and you'll just get kited without it. So yeah. Whew, okay.
Middle tower is under attack.
Okay. So let's look at this. Oh, you're an offline Lifestealer. Interesting.
Did I interrupt you?
Okay. So let's look at this. Okay, I'm gonna pause right away. Okay, so first thing you did is you skilled, which I don't recommend doing. Open wounds first is totally fine, but you still want to wait to see if you need Rage to live or something like that. It's just important that you don't commit to a skill before you need to use a certain one. You always want to keep your options open. If you get into a fight or whatever, you can always just scale up open wounds and go for it. Second mistake is if you are an offline Lifestealer, which I'm assuming you are, never go Cloning Blade. You don't need it. It's not bad, but if you plan on like dual offlining with a Dirge, and you definitely need stats. It's a little confusing. It's okay if you just go to the jungle afterward. It's not the best, but I mean it's not the worst either. And in that case, Cloning Blade is great. But if you're gonna go jungle, then you would have Feast anyway, so it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't match up with what you're doing. So okay, that's fine. Whew, okay, I actually think offline Lifestealer can be played. It's just a little weird. A lot of the strength comes from getting ancients, like getting into a dragon. But yeah. Okay. So you made a mechanical error here. That was pretty big. You end up getting the kill, which is nice. But generally, when you're playing heroes like this, like 1 melee heroes and 2 heroes that have CC, you want to wait to CC until the guy is already running away. So in this case, like, look at how you approach this. So your first instinct was to open wounds the guy, which is fine, but you can get a hit off before. If you had been running down right here and just met him on the high ground, you could attack, then open wounds, and then attack again. And then it's like, he's not moving at that point, like he's placing the ward or just running up on the hill. So he has no way to, just randomly get away and start running faster. So you're kind of like wasting the duration of your CC by casting it at a time when he's not going to run away anyway. You end up killing him anyway, and that's fine. But yeah, it's still something to think about. Okay. Also, instead of right-clicking on this guy, you know, just spam right-clicking him, you should attack and then move a little bit forward. So right here, you attack, then you right-click forward, then you attack him again, then you right-click forward, then you attack. Whereas, like, you just right-clicked on him. And basically that cancels the animation, like the backswing of your attack. So, like, this part of the attack where you just locked in the animation, and that's a pretty big deal. So that will save you a lot of time in the future. Okay. Okay, so here, rather than running up, you should just run through the lane. That way, if they choose to go on either one of you guys, you're split up, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about getting double stunned or anything like that. Third can handle himself, so you don't have to worry about him, really. Okay. So here, rather than running away, you should definitely just go in and try to fight. Basically, Dirge is tanking all this damage, and the only way that you're going to die here is if you get stunned, and then like take 2 to 3 auto attacks each from these heroes, and you can always just run away if that's the case. So definitely should commit to this fight earlier. Okay, so you end up getting like 2 kills out of this, which was really good. Or a kill and an assist anyway, but you get my point. So it's really not that bad, but it's definitely not optimal. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so you go for... Don't do this. If you're laning against people, like, you need movement speed, or you need like PMS or something like that. Or you could even go Helm of the Iron Will, but this Gloves of Haste is useless. It gives you high damage, yes, and if you go jungle, it's very useful. It actually increases your movement speed by a lot, or your jungling speed by a lot, but it's really very low value in lane. Even if you're going Midas, you generally want to get like phase boots or treads first, depending on what you go for. I recommend phase personally, but you don't want to be put in a position where you're just useless. And in this case, I think you're useless, especially since you have no mana. You need movement speed to chase heroes. Like, that's just what your hero lacks, is mobility. So you need to make up for that as soon as possible. Only because you're laning, though. If you were jungling and you went this build, this would be totally fine. Okay. So let's look at the initial laning phase. Okay, so again, the aggro trick would benefit you a lot here. You wouldn't have to contest these heroes for CS as hard. That would be nice. Also, you don't have to be scared of this guy. Like, you're being way too scared right now. Like, basically, as soon as you have the creep advantage right here, you can just trade with this guy willy-nilly. You can tango up, and then start hitting him here. Like, you go for the CS, obviously, first, but, like, this guy should not be zoning you. Like, you should not be afraid to go for this. Like, especially since he's in the middle of all your creeps. Like, there's no reason for it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's a big deal, but it's all good. Should definitely get way more CS than that in the first wave. They don't have the highest threat on their team, or the highest amount of threat, so no worries there.
Take for us, Lifestealer. Invisibility.
Okay.
My broken body.
So let's watch this. I think yeah, this is just kind of bad positioning on Dirge's part. What you could try to do here is, since they already used all their spells and they have no way to get on you again, is you can try to pressure the Sven or the Disruptor to get off the Dirge, but yeah, it's kind of just like him being out of position thing. The only thing you can try to do is pressure the Sven, like I said, but you still have to be really careful. Yeah, so that's a mistake on your guys' part. How much you can do? Oh, no. Okay, does this guy have stun? He doesn't. Okay, that's fine. So, like, also, I didn't see you click on the guy to see if he had mana for stun, so it's okay if you knew that he didn't have mana to use it, but still need to be really careful here. Because if he has mana for stun here, you just die, and that'd be extra bad. But now the bright side of this is that the lane is going to be in a good spot. Like, basically, you see all these creeps here, they're going to be pushing. Okay, so you do the thing here again, where you go for a creep that isn't yours. Like, in order to get these creeps, you need to be in the enemy team's zone. Like, this, which is spell and attack range. So if you go for this last hit like you're about to, he's going to nuke you and attack you a couple times, and that's not a good trade. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, you take about 100, 150 damage from this. About 200, actually. Just for that one TS, where if you waited, you could get it later. Or the enemy team has to make a good play by denying the creep. Okay, so this is all fine. Okay, CS, good stuff. You want to keep tangoing here? Dirge clarities you, what a nice guy. I recommend getting 1 point in rage if you're going to be laning here. At this point, since you guys already died, you should just go jungle. It's not beneficial for you to be here and just CS. You just want to get 6 as fast as possible and get into an ancient creep, preferably a dragon, so you can kill creep waves really quickly. But yeah, so you're only getting EXP here, and you're splitting it with Dirge, so you just want to go jungle at this point. It'll be much better for you guys. It'll be more efficient. And in that case, getting an Iron Talon would be better than going Gloves of Haste or Quelling Blade or whatever. You just want to jungle more quickly. Because like here, you're getting EXP, but they can deny every creep, and you guys can't do anything. Theoretically, anyway. Okay, this is a bad play. Yeah, I mean, that was like okay. It was decent damage, but it's an investment of very long cooldowns, so it's not that good. Like basically that was your offensive potential for the next like 30 seconds to a minute. So there's no point going for that in my opinion. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Okay. Yeah, so definitely just go jungle at this point. These guys aren't going to punish you that hard. And it would be hard for them to punish you specifically if you have a point in rage. But if you're going to stay here, then you need to be applying the creep aggro trick. So in cases like this, like I know I've repeated this 100 times, but it really is important. So just here you could, you know, run up, aggro this creep back, pull it back, and just get the CS. Definitely recommend practicing that. Alright. Okay. So like here you're not going to get every CS. You're not even going to get like 2 CS per wave if all goes well for them. So you should just be looking to go jungle. Your hero doesn't come online until you get 6. Like you're just a melee creep at that point, or before then. So definitely don't worry about doing this. Okay, you guys might go for a kill here with Tombstone. Okay. Yeah, see, like even with rage you can't go for this kill, so that's pretty bad. Okay, Dark is just going in. All right. Interesting.
Dire's top tower
Nothing you
is
could
under
really do to help that
attack.
guy. Diving was really stupid. It's okay to harass Sven like that and get him out of lane, but you can't go for like the overcommitment like that. There's no point. Definitely at this point, like you should recognize that you need to go jungle. That's really big. But okay, I'm actually gonna speed up because like I made my point pretty clear till we find a fight. Okay. Okay, so Dirge is messing up quite a bit. You've messed up conceptually too, but it's not the worst. You're gonna have like a 9-minute Midas or so, maybe more like 10 depending on how much you farm. But still not too bad of a game, all things considered. Like I think you should be punished harder than this, but yeah. Okay, so you guys see Lich TP out and you decide to go for a gank. You actually could have gone for this here. Like, you could have gone around rather than going for like going through the side shot. Like Sven is only going to run up here. There's no other way he goes anywhere else. It's just not happening. So you should just run up and try to meet him right here. Then you can block him. I guess you could TP out, yeah. Either way, I think you should look and just to see. Like if you don't click on him and see that he has a TP, you can kind of assume that he does, but you're not the highest MMR, or at the highest MMR, so people might panic in this case. It's worth just running around and checking. So that's pretty, not big, but it does matter. The decision matters for sure. Okay, so you're about to get your Midas, good stuff. Still, I think it's a little bit late compared to if you were to go to jungle after you get hit like level 3 or so, but it's okay. Not the biggest deal by any means. Here, you guys should just kill Disruptor. Like, it sounds silly, but like, if he just runs up like this, you can just open wounds him and attack him. And like, Dirge can drop Tombstone or whatever. And he just kind of dies. Like, if he glimpses you at all or kinetic fields, you just rage. And he dies. So rather than running back here, you should just go in. You know that Sven just TP'd out, and you also know that he's mid, and you know that Lich is mid as well, like looking at the map. So definitely just kill this guy. That's a lost kill, which is big. Okay, also you generally, if you can, you want to use Midas on the big neutral creeps, so these ones. Like this Hellbear is good, the big Wild Wing Ripper is good as well. Alpha Wolf is okay, not that good. Use it on the Ogre Bruisers rather than the Frost Mage. But yeah, basically the point of that is they give higher EXP, like a higher base EXP. So when you use Midas, it gives you 2.5 times experience. So if there's a higher base experience, then you know it's a higher value when you use Midas. I think that was like the worst way I've ever explained that, but whatever, you get my point. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Alms for the dead.
Okay. This is all fine.
Dire's bottom tower.
You can go pull right here and that would be good. Also there's no need to use this. Most disruptors will not max Thunderstrike, and even then it's not worth it to use your rage to do that. Your mana is very limited on this hero, and you want to make sure you're using it for good, or for good reason, so definitely don't do that. Here, if the lane is pushed up like this, and I didn't mention this earlier, so that's my mistake, but you can just pull this camp at 48 seconds, and you know it'll run in here, and aggro these creeps, and it'll run back, and that will pull the wave to your tower, which is nice. You'll get a lot of free EXP that way. You can do that in a lot of hard lanes, but yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. It's fine. Okay. Okay, a couple of mistakes happened there. So let's look at the setup here. So the setup is Disruptor walks up, which is fine. Like, you don't have to worry too much about that. You just need to make sure you don't get static stormed, and that's what happened. Basically, like, what is your approach to this? I'm pretty sure your approach is just to rage and open wounds the Disruptor. He doesn't really have counterplay at that point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just it. Like, if he drops Kinetic Field like this, he's guaranteed going to go for a Static Storm. In pretty much all cases, so it's worth it just to rage. I guess the worst case scenario is he baits you, and like mind games you, and he drops a Kinetic Field but doesn't Static Storm. Then you rage, and he waits for you to be not enraged anymore, then he glimpses you back, and that would be a sick play, but a 2k Disruptor player is not going to do that. And I'm assuming this is around 2k, so apologies if it's like undershooting you or whatever. But yeah. And also when you went for the infest, it's a good idea to infest here for sure, but you need it to be faster in order for it to work. You just need to like immediately infest and get out, and use mind control, get away. You might have been able to live, it'd be tricky, but still a possibility for sure.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, also you died with Midas off cooldown, which sucks, but not much you can do. Alright. Okay, yeah, you're looking at Midas there. Don't be afraid to just run to this camp in Midas. It's definitely worth the time. Okay, so also, when you're Lifestealer and you hit 6, you almost always want to get into a creep. It's extremely good, like an ancient creep. You just mind control this and run around and shoot fireballs at creep waves, and you're super annoying. It's so hard to die, and you have a lot of kill potential. You just farm incredibly quickly that way, especially if you're an offlane Lifestealer who doesn't get much farm. Yeah, I just highly recommend playing that kind of style. It's also much more fun, which is that's just like a good argument. I think it's a good enough argument. It's fun and effective.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
But like being a Lifestealer that is not an ancient creep is okay. Like you can farm decently, but compared to the farming speed of the ancient dragon or Thunderhide, it's very low, or it's very slow rather. And if at any point you want to just go back to being a normal Lifestealer, you can just like pop out. You just infest bomb and open wounds, phase, rage, whatever, and you can do the same thing. So it's actually way better to just get into an ancient creep at all times. At least until you get like a lot of items, like if you have S and Y and Blink or something like that, or S and Y AC, then it becomes a little different. But even then, I think it's okay to be in an ancient creep. It just means you're like very safe most of the time. Like being constantly magic immune means that you can just run up to people and you're in a good spot. Okay, this is bad. Like, so it's not a bad idea to infest bomb, but the only way this works is if they just randomly go on dirge. Normally infest bombs are best when you have some sort of gap closer hero like Queen of Pain or Storm or something like that. That way the Queen of Pain or Storm can blink in or ball lightning in, and then you can infest bomb and be on top of a hero. Whereas like dirge can walk up, you can like do the classic walking initiation, which is not very good compared to a blink, but yeah. This is like okay if they end up going on dirge, but this guy needs to play accordingly. Yeah, this is so bad. If these guys die here, it's 100% because they suck, not because like you guys made a good play. There's no reason for them to go for this. It looks like you guys just get demolished anyway. Okay, so everyone's just dead. Okay, so that was really bad. Alright, let's look at what happened though. That should have been way worse, but these guys messed up as well. Basically, like, as soon as this tomb goes down, this guy can just run. All he needs to do is run away, and he wins. Like, he wins the trade. I don't know how he let this happen. Or he could even stun and run away and Warcry and stuff. Like, he has no reason to die here. There's no reason for this Tiny to run in. It's just all bad. Like, Sven does the right thing, and he runs away a little bit. But Tiny messes up really hard. Does he get spells off? Yeah, he doesn't even get his spells off, so that was extremely bad play from Tiny. If he uses like toss here, you guys just all die guaranteed. At least if he tosses well anyway, but yeah. So this is pretty bad. The biggest issue here is just you infest a teammate that can't really infest bomb that well, so there's no point. Yeah, pretty big mistake in my opinion. Definitely like focus on infesting people who can either blink or ball lightning in, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's only something you do like just before a fight. Other than that, you should just be always in an ancient creep. There's no point to be otherwise early game. Whew, okay, so this is extremely bad. Not much else to say. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Also, apologies about the like sipping noises or whatever, the drinking noises. I know it's kind of annoying, but I need a drink. That's all it is. I know I've had those in a couple of videos here, but yeah. Anyway. Okay, so you die. Not the end of the world. Still sucks, but Midas is off cooldown again. That would tilt me personally. Okay, so yeah, you can't expect to do this. Like, it's not bad to threaten this guy, but you can't expect to just run at him like this. Like, you right-click on him and just, you know, like, go in. You can't do that. You gotta, like, be more sneaky about it if you want to go for this. Okay. Right here, you should go to an Ancient Creep and invest. I don't think you do, but yeah. Okay. So you seem to just have this bad habit of staying static in your lane and just like being happy with last hitting every now and then, but you can't do that. You need to be way more efficient and focus more on getting more gold and EXP. That will help you a lot. Yeah, you cannot do this. Like, this is extremely bad. You can't just infest anybody that comes near you, and you especially can't do it whenever they have vision. Like, look at Sniper's vision here. This will be his player perspective, what he sees. Okay, Falk Dire. Alright. So he just sees this Warlock run up. Well, he should see it. Maybe he doesn't look. But yeah, look, this is his vision. This is what he sees. So he just randomly sees that you jump into Warlock. Like, not only does Warlock not have any gap closers, so he can't just get on Sniper, but also, like, what are you going to do in this position? Like, what's your plan here? I guess you could, like, try to bait people and, like, have Warlock overextend and just jump out or something, but Warlock doesn't even have ult, so that's not a good idea either. And you also did it in vision. If you guys were way back here, it would be, like, slightly better, but it would still be shit, because you have no options here. Like, your hero is not somebody that, like, relies on the infest bomb. You're so much more than that. Like, you're a pretty decent farmer if you get in an ancient creep, you can pressure lanes, you're good at fighting as well, but you suck at fighting if you're limited to the mobility of a Warlock or an Undying or something like that. Like, never do this. Not only, like, also as, like, a bonus, that's not really the right word for it, but, as a side effect, like, this guy is also pressured to, like, do something, because, like, a person just jumped inside of him, like, I don't know, it's weird. Definitely don't do this, like, stop doing this. Even if it's like a Storm Spirit or whatever. Oh my god, it actually works. No. How? Holy fuck. Alright. Whew. Alright. So this worked literally only because this guy is completely lost. He has no idea where he is. He doesn't know what game he's playing. Doesn't know what's going on at all. There's no way that this happens. I can't believe he just walked past, like... This wouldn't be a good play even if you weren't inside of the Warlock. Like, there's no way this is a thing. I don't know what's going on here, but I hope from this you don't take, like... You don't think this is a good play because it worked. It is not. It only worked because Lich is, like, super dumb. Like, there's no reason for him to run this way. He could just go through river, he could go up here, anything. So I was extremely lucky. I mean, maybe it wasn't even lucky. Maybe that's a common play. But that's just so silly. And again, sorry, like, it's different. Like, it's so easy for me to criticize people when I'm not, like, face to face. Like, I'd be much more courteous if we were, like, in a call or whatever. So apologies if I seem mean. I absolutely don't intend to flame. Like, this is all just, like, me trying to explain, you know, why I think it's a bad play or why I think something is good or whatever. Please don't take it to heart. Okay. Okay, so here, in this case, like, you guys are all grouped up for, like, no reason. This is a very common 2K thing. Or just very low MMR thing. I like specifically call out 2K players. But you guys are just all grouped up for like pretty much no reason. You could try to push this tower here, but they have really good defense with sniper. So unless you plan on diving him, you should just leave. You just have too many heroes like on the same spot here. Like none of you guys are farming right now, really. Like if you were all to farm this lane, you'd get 4 creeps, like split between you guys. I guess 5 now, because it's past 15 minutes, and also there's a cannon creep and everything. But whatever, semantics. So yeah, basically, like rather than splitting up and farming, you guys choose a group and you limit your farm severely this way. And that's okay if you get an objective really quickly, but it's just very inefficient to be doing this. Here you could just have a TP on you and go jungle, do any of these camps, jump into an ancient creep preferably. But yeah, so this is an efficiency thing. And that's something that you'll learn over time. When you're playing a farming hero like this or Spectre, you never want to be in the same place as your teammates in most cases, at least for the first like 20 minutes or so. Unless you specifically plan on fighting and you have a specific plan to go on a hero and kill them. So like let's say a fight breaks out top, you can TP in and go for it if you think that you can get on Disruptor and kill him, or Sniper and kill him, or something like that. You never want to just be with your teammates. You always want to be like defaulting to farming and moving more quickly around the map. Okay, TP top. This is totally fine. Well, it's semi-fine. It's fine because you need to get this farm. Like somebody needs to get it. It's not super fine because your teammates were running up at that time. Not the best, but it's really not bad at all. It's mostly their mistake if you guys all go here. But really not that bad. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower.
Also, if you're playing Lifestealer offlane, I generally don't recommend going S and Y first. I actually recommend going Radiance. It only works with the ancient creeps because you can farm very quickly and you can get your relic very safely that way. But yeah, it's actually an extremely effective build. Like it's surprisingly effective. Alternatively, if you need to fight much earlier, you can still get it in the ancients, but you can get a Vlad's instead and then go for Radiance. It's just a really nice aura item for your team in a lot of cases. Okay. You should definitely use your Midas relatively soon. Okay.
Top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower.
Yes, you go Midas, it's fine. Okay. Good, you stepped out of the spawn box. It's good stuff. Okay, you shouldn't go for this fight. You're useless up here. You have nothing to defend like these heroes with. Even if you kill this Disruptor, which you won't, it's not worth it. Oh no, okay. You literally... Okay. You just went up here to die, basically. As soon as OD dies, like, you have no business being here. Like, are you and Warlock going to kill everyone here? Like, even if he drops an ult and gets, like, a 5-man Fatal Bonds or anything like that, or something like that, there's no way you kill these heroes. So, it's just not good. So, let's look at your player perspective. Okay, so at this point, you start running. And at this point, like, OD is dead. He has absolutely no way to live. He has no Astral, he has no Blink, no Force Staff, no BKB, nothing like that. So at this point, you should just immediately go and run away. You should recognize that the fight is lost, and you should go pressure another lane. Preferably go mid, and just push this. And that way, rather than running up here and trying to fight something that is not going to happen, that you can't do anything in, you're pressuring another lane, which is really good. Because then, like, these guys have to make a choice, right? Like, okay, we just killed OD. What's the plan now? Do we push this tower? Okay, yeah, pushing the tower seems like a pretty good idea. Wait, Lifestealer is pushing mid. Do we send somebody there? Okay, maybe we should do that. Like, you make them make a choice. It's much better than just doing this and feeding. And also, like, worst case scenario, they get the tower, and they also send somebody mid in defense. But in that case, you get some farm anyway. So it's much better than what you did here. Don't feel compelled to try to save your teammates. Just, like, do things that benefit you. Like, you're a hero that can carry the game just by farming really well and pushing and fighting later. So don't be afraid to do that. Definitely prioritize, like, lane pressure and farming out lanes, but yeah.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Also, you probably wouldn't die here if you weren't an ancient. Just saying. You know, you wouldn't get stunned and all that, but yeah. It's me being cheeky, but it's okay. Alright, so I think my main points got across here. Pretty much for you specifically, I'd recommend, like, practicing equilibrium strategies, so, like, jumping into a custom game and just pushing the lane back and forth. I highly recommend this custom game here. Last Hit Challenge. This is a really good place to do it. Or also you can just get into a lobby and practice that way. That's fine as well. But yeah, just practice, like, pushing the lane back and forth, controlling the equilibrium. Obviously try to CS, and also practice the aggro trick. So you attack enemy heroes, then run back, and you pull the creeps back. I would read up on that a little bit as well. I think it would be helpful. I might include a link in the description if I remember. But yeah, so that ends. I guess just some of the item build stuff that we talked about. Those are the big things, and also like there's decision making in fights and stuff. But I think that all matters like much less compared to the equilibrium and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. This is the first time I've done a replay analysis in this form, where it's just me talking into a camera. I actually kind of like it. I think in the future I would like to have the student ask questions beforehand, or just like send me a list of questions or anything like that, something like that. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you like this content. What else? What do good YouTubers say, guys? Yeah, I guess thanks for watching. That's it. All right, peace. That was mega awkward.